Hello friends, welcome. Friends, I have been working for quite some time on visualization of data. The whole purpose of doing so is to get insight on the data which unless visualized doesn't tell a story, and therefore it is very difficult to appreciate what is going on. With that intent, I had learned some capabilities of visualization. So while doing so, I have gone through a very painful process because these tools are very difficult to absorb. So what I am doing is, I am planning to share with you certain tricks of the trade which will enhance your journey on this path and make you much more efficient without you having to go through the same pain which I have gone through. So today what I am going to do is that I am going to teach you how to sort data using columns. Because sometimes what happens is that when you are using Tableau, the sorting becomes very confusing. Because when I was using Tableau, I have been using Tableau for last 4 years. For me, sorting data was very difficult. I could not figure out what is this. Because Tableau is sometimes very difficult to understand. Because there are a lot of tricks of the trade which you have to memorize. So what I am going to do today is that I am going to help you do sorting very quickly, column by column, and which you can select by choosing the column number. And in the process, I will teach you how to filter the view without filtering the underlying data. Because if you filter the underlying data, lot of window function that you're going to use is going to be ineffective. And those window functions are extremely important for you to come out with certain kind of analysis, which is very difficult to do otherwise. So without wasting any further time, let's begin. So what I've done is that I have uploaded in this Tableau the GDP data, because I just created a GDP package, so that is just fresh in my mind, so I just using this data. I've removed all the dashboard, so I am in a blank slate now. So I have date, and I have description, then I have type, and then I have the values, the USD and the rupee value. So I will put date in columns, right? So I just put date in columns. It's very simple. And then I am going to put rupees in rows. So I get a simple curve. I'm going to convert this into bar. And then I am going to do what? I am going to do entire view. Right? So very simple. There is nothing much. Anybody can do this. Then what I am going to do? I am going to show marks. So you can see that the marks are available. After that, I am going to put description in rows, so that these are going to get, they will get stacked using description. So in order to show the trend, what I am going to do, I am going to basically I will just choose the headers and then double click on the headers, and then what will happen, I'll just do independent range and not include zeros. So what will happen is that the bars are going to become visible. Now it's quite cluttered. So in order to filter this data, what I am going to do is I am going to put type on filters and choose one of the dimension of GDP, which is GDP constant. Okay. So now it is much cleaner. I'll put description also in color. Okay. So now you see, and remove this header so that you have the dimensions and the table in front of you. Now if you see this table, this is not sorted, right? All the numbers are haywire. Like you have 28.8 in row number 3, then we have 0.9, then. Now your intent is to sort this column by column, and you should be able to choose the column based on whatever you want. You can choose the column number 1, column number 2, column number 3, column number 4, whatever number column you choose, it will get sorted out, because column represents the year, the financial year on which the data is presented. So in order to do that, you need to you have to create a calculated field. What is that calculated field? This calculated field called lookup. Lookup value. Now lookup value is just a window function lookup. So you say it's lookup. Now if you go to lookup and search here lookup, you will see lookup is doing what? It is picking up a particular value from this row, and it will present it one by one here. So it takes two things. It will take the value here, which you have to aggregate using some value, and then let me just put it in a some value, and then it requires a index offset. So what offset I am going to use? I am going to use another window function which is called last. Now last is going to identify the last value here. Okay, the last value. And then in order to know exactly what the offset is from last, from 1 to 3, I am going to basically subtract a parameter which is called sort by column. I am going to show it to you what that sort by column is. So sort by column. I'll say sort by column. Okay, here. So sort by column is nothing but say set of integers. So if I open sort by, if I let me just move my face out of this position and then I'll just edit this. So you will see that this is nothing but integer. You can take any number 1, 2, 3, 4, 0, whatever number that you want. All the numbers it can take. So you just put that and what you do is you sort by value and you just close this, right? Sorry. Oh, wait. So basically there is a problem here. What is the problem? The problem is, let me just fix this problem. Just a minute. Hold on for a minute. Yeah. So this is what the function looks like. I forgot this bracket here. Okay. So then I say okay. Once I say okay, the lookup will be ready. But before I say okay, I have to do one more thing. What I have to do? I have to also ensure that the default table column is defined, because currently it is across. So what I have to do is that I have to define the default table calculation. What will be the lookup default table calculation? Because if I leave this table across, though it is going to work, but it will get confusing. So what I'll do is I'll choose date as the default table calculation. The calculation will happen across date because date is on the y-axis. So I'll say date and I say press OK. So now it is fixed along date. So I say OK. Now once I put lookup value and I convert this into discrete. So now you see what will happen. So I put lookup value here. So you will see these numbers are going to show up here. So if I put it here right in front before description, then you will see that the least value will be on the top and the highest value will be at the bottom, right? It will sort in the opposite direction. That's what you do not want this. You want the highest value to come on the top and the lowest value to go at the bottom. So what you can do? You can simply put a minus sign here. Once you put a minus sign here, what will happen? That it will reverse and you again convert it into discrete and then you put it back here before description. So what you will see? The GDP numbers are on top and the imports number are on the bottom, right? So it is going to get sorted based on the real value. So the column number. So why it is getting sorted by 157.6? Because the sort column number is, if I show parameter, it is showing 1. So if I make it 0, then you will see it will be sorted by 125.6. See 125.6. So any column you can choose here. You can basically choose 3, so it will get sorted by 3. So you see 3 is what? This one. So 1, 2, so 0, 1, 2, 3. So just like you can do that. The second thing that you need to do is you need to have a ranking. So you can remove this and you can create a rank function. Because what you need to do is you have to have the capability to filter this view, because currently there are only few items. There are 8 items. Let's say there are 100 items and you want to show the first 10 of the items without filtering the underlying data. So how you are going to do it? So in order to do that, you create a rank function. So I create another calculated field called rank, right? And then what I do is that I use a formula called rank unique. And in that formula, I'll put that lookup value function here. So this formula is correct. So you see calculation is valid, but this is not sufficient. This is not going to give you the right answer and you are going to scratch your head and pull your hairs unless you do the following. It's very, very important. You have to fix the default table calculation in the beginning itself. So you want this computation to happen in the direction of description. So you have to choose description and then say OK. If you don't do this, you will get haywire and you'll not be able to fix this problem going forward, because every time you do something, it is going to basically get disturbed. So do this first before you put this on the view. So I say OK. After having done that, convert this into discrete. Okay. And then you put rank on this. Now you see everything will become very, very nice and smooth. Otherwise it will go all haywire. Your view is going to get disturbed. So please make sure that you fix the computation before you put that formula in the view. Otherwise it's not going to work properly. Now you can take the lookup value out of the view. So you get fixed. So now you have a very, very simple ranking function which is giving you the ranks along with the description, and it's all getting sorted out properly. Now what you can do is, your intent is to filter the data. Now why do you want to filter the data? You want to filter the data because let's assume that you want to calculate the market share or the percentage share of a particular dimension to the overall GDP. Now in order to show that, I have to take GDP out of this view. So what I'm going to do? I am going to take the description and I am going to filter out GDP. So I'll take GDP out and say okay. So now GDP is going to be out of the view. So what I'll do, I'll create another window function. So I'll say quick table calculation. I'll say percentage of total. Now once I do percentage of total, then again I have to define in which direction the calculation will happen. So compute using description. So once you do compute with description, now you see everything has been set properly. So you have the right answer here. Okay. So how do you know what the answer is right? Then you go to analysis and you do column total. That is do column totals on top. First you show row count total, and then what you do is that go to analysis, go to analysis, and they say total and they show column total on top. Now you see these are all 100%. So which basically clearly shows, so if I remove this table calculation, so let's say clear table calculation, then you will get the GDP numbers here. See? And again when I add the table calculation, see everything will add up to 100%. Now this will add up to 100% even when you filter out a particular data. Let's say if I want to remove imports, right? So I put rank in the filter and then I take out 8. When I take out 8, you will see these numbers are not going to change. See, 56.3 remains the same. Only thing is that import gets out of the view. So this is a very, very important tool that you can use in order to control your view without filtering the underlying data, and you can sort this data based on whatever column that you want to sort. So I thought that, I had struggled on this, I could not figure out how to pull my hair, and that's why I probably feel that I have lost all hair doing this video. But anyway, so that was just a joke. So what I'm basically wanting to tell you is that these kind of tools are extremely important for you to do sharp visualization, have control over your data. And there are many such techniques. I'm going to use this opportunity going forward to make you updated on these techniques as and when I get an opportunity and time. So thank you very much for your patient listening, and I'll come back to you with another tip next time. Thank you very much. Thank you all.